From the heart of Kerala's legendary Vadakkan Pattugal, that is a collection of Kalaripayattu warrior songs, emerges the story of a woman who refused to bow. With a sword in her hand and honor in her heart, Unniyarcha walked paths others feared and left behind a tale etched in time. This story, sung through the ancient ballads of northern Kerala, begins in a quiet village called Manamil. Unniyarcha's bravery soon became a tale whispered across villages. Mothers told their daughters about her strength. Warriors spoke of her with respect, all because of the day she stood up to the feared Jonaka Goons. Long ago, the Malabar coast was known for its warmth and kindness. The people welcomed outsiders like family, calling them Mapila as a sign of respect. Muslim traders were known as Jonaka Mapilas, Christians as Nasrani Mapilas, and Jews as Juda Mapilas. But not all carried that honor. In a place called Nadampuram, a group of Jonakas had earned a bad name. They were not known for trade or wisdom, but for their cruelty. These men mistreated women, kidnapped them, and brought fear to the land. Their actions went against everything the people of Malabar believed in: respect, safety, and dignity for all. And it was these men that Unniyarcha faced one day. Unniyarcha lived in Manamil with her husband Kunyiraman, a gentleman with a timid heart. She loved him and honored the peaceful rhythm of married life. But within her beat the restless pulse of a warrior's blood. Her soul longed for some adventure. One morning, while passing by the well, she overheard few women gossiping. They spoke of a Koothu, a grand dance performance, at a temple far away. Something inside her lit up. Finally, something different, something exciting. The morning of the Koothu, Unniyarcha woke up early. She bathed, dressed in her finest clothes, and chose her best jewels: gold bangles, golden anklets, and earrings that shimmered like fire. Then she went to her father-in-law, the head of the house, to ask for permission. He frowned. "That road is not safe," he warned. "Criminals, thugs, you can't go alone." Unniyarcha smiled. "Kunyiraman will come with me," she replied confidently. She hadn't told her husband yet. At that moment, Kunyiraman's mother broke into sobs. "No, not my son. He is gentle. He can't face danger. Don't take him." Unniyarcha raised an eyebrow. So the cowardice runs in the family, she thought. "That's fine," she said sharply. "I am the daughter of Kannappa Chegavar. I fear no man. I'll go alone if I must." This shook the family. Finally, Kunyiraman was called in. With a face full of worry and voice barely steady, he agreed to go. And just like that, the two set off into the dust, walking towards danger, towards the unknown. Kunyiraman mumbled as they walked, "I just hope we don't meet the Jonaka gang. They are madmen." Unniyarcha didn't answer. She just smiled. It didn't take long for trouble to find them. Barely a few miles into the journey, just as Kunyiraman had feared, a group of rough-looking men stood ahead by the side of the road. Their eyes were sharp, their presence heavy, the kind of men who made silence feel dangerous. The Jonaka gang. Everyone in the region had heard of them. They robbed whoever they saw, young, old, rich, or poor. No mercy, no shame, just greed and violence. Kunyiraman's face went pale. His hands trembled. If Unniyarcha hadn't been beside him, he might have turned and run right then. But she didn't flinch. If anything, she walked faster, eyes fixed on the gang. Her voice was steady, even scolding. "Are you not ashamed, Kunyiraman? I am a woman, and I walk without fear. Yet you, a man, shake like a leaf. Stand tall, husband." Kunyiraman could say nothing. He just stared at the ground, legs shaking beneath him. The gang noticed them now. As the couple got closer, the men stepped forward and blocked the path. Each one carried a thick stick and weapons, their face twisted into wicked grins. Well, one of them sneered. Traveling to Koothu, are we? They laughed. Let's tie him to the tree, one shouted. She's the one our boss will want, a perfect gift. Unniyarcha turned to look at her husband. He stood frozen, eyes wide, teeth chattering, mumbling something no one could understand. She sighed deeply. Not surprised, just disappointed. With slow, graceful movements, she began removing her jewelry. Her earrings, bangles, necklace, placing them gently at the feet of the men. Take my jewels, she said softly, and let us go. Spare my husband. The gang only laughed harder. Our boss doesn't need your gold, one said. He wants you. And then Unniyarcha smiled. A smile that stopped them cold. I was hoping you would say that, she whispered. Her hand slipped into her cloak. In one swift motion, she pulled out her Urumi, the deadly whip-like sword. Its steel gleamed in the sun. You think I came for a temple dance? She said, her voice now sharp as the blade. No, I came here for you. The men stepped back, startled. I left my home today for one reason, to end your filthy gang once and for all. And with that, she struck. The Urumi danced in her hands, slicing through sticks and limbs with lightning speed. Some tried to fight back, but their wooden weapons shattered like dry twigs. The rest could only watch in shock. Unniyarcha moved like fire through a forest. Each step, each swing, precise, powerful and unstoppable. One by one, the Jonakas fell. Some ran, some begged, but none could stop her. Where the dust settled, only a few remained, trembling, backing away. Unniyarcha stood tall, her Urumi dripping with the truth of battle. I am Unniyarcha of Koothu, sister to Aromal Tegavar. If any of you still have the courage, step forward. I'll fight you all. Her voice echoed across the room like thunder, but no one moved. Not a single man. A few Jonaka men who survived didn't wait a second longer. Terrified, they dropped their weapons and ran. Not a glance back, not a word spoken, just fear pounding in the chest as they rushed to the leader, carrying only the tale of a fierce warrior woman who fought like fire and promised to destroy them all. The leader listened. At first, he laughed, but as the men spoke of the Urumi, the speed and fury in her eyes, his grin slowly vanished. His pride gave way to panic. He knew he had to stop her before she came for him. Without delay, he saddled his finest horse and galloped off down the road towards the one who had brought his gang to its knees. He came upon her just as she was calming her husband, who had barely recovered from the shock. The moment he saw the gang leader galloping towards them, Kunyiraman's face turned pale and he collapsed into his usual fit of shaking and mumbling. But Unniyarcha stood firm, her hand resting on her Urumi, her eyes calm and steady. Before she could draw her blade, the gang leader leapt from his horse and dropped to his knees. Please, my lady, he pleaded, bowing at her feet. We were wrong. We will never harm another woman again. I swear it. He laid gifts at her feet. Glittering diamonds, shining rubies, piles of gold, silk and finely crafted daggers. All of it is yours. Just forgive me. You will never hear of the Jonaka gang again. Unniyarcha looked down at the trembling man. For a moment, she thought of ending it there, to strike him down for all the pain he and his men had caused. but she was a Putturam, not a criminal. Leave before I change my mind, she said coldly. If I ever hear of you touching another woman again, I won't let you crawl away next time. The man hurried to his horse and vanished down the road, never daring to look back. Unniyarcha turned to Kunyaraman, still frozen in place. She smiled. Well, dear, she said with a chuckle, looks like you're finally going to be useful today. She loaded him up with the treasure, patted his back like a cart horse, and together they walked, not towards the temple, but back home. Back with the treasure of their enemies and the pride of victory shining brighter than any jewel. Unniyarcha was not just a tale. She was a real warrior woman who lived in 16th century Kadattanadu. Her story, sung for centuries in the Vadakkan Portugal, stands as symbol of courage, honor, and timeless strength, and reminds us that a true warrior doesn't seek power, she earns respect.